So now begins our segment. At the end of our Game Talk shows, after we've had our fun with the news, after we've talked about things coming up, we're going to start our WWBP segment, short for What We've Been Playing. And Will is about to start us off again with the name of a game that he has discovered recently.
I have been playing the demo for Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition.
That is a mouthful.
Very long title, very long demo for a very long game. Keith, I told you earlier today that I finished the demo in 6 hours. There was actually a dungeon that I had yet to do in the demo. So I actually finished it in 7.5 hours.
Oh, I'm sorry, I need to move on.
Which is longer than a lot of games. And I from what I hear, the full game's like 70 hours or something. So the demo's like a good 10% of the game. And it's very much a classic JRPG fare. It doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot to switch it up other than to just kind of perfect the genre. The presentation's really cool. I really like the art style. It kind of reminds me of like if Earthbound took place in like a more generic fantasy setting, because a lot of the enemy types are really goofy and have like punny names. Like there's a platypunk, like a little rough-looking platypus. There's like a genie with a drum called the Bongo Drongo. Like everybody's got goofy names and they're very goofy character designs. And the story doesn't seem to take itself too seriously, but it so far is very generic. Like, you know, you're the chosen one, blah blah blah, prophecies, meeting up with random people that become your party members. It's very much just like like JRPGs distilled and brought into 2019. And yeah, it's really fun. I like the music a lot. The art style is really nice. I can kind of see how it doesn't look quite as great as like whenever I've seen like PS4 footage of it and stuff. There's definitely some like graphical limitations. It's really blurry in handheld mode. Like I feel like the resolution's kind of taking a dip, but I mean it's totally playable. And like I said, really like the music and the story. It's not like mind blowing or anything, but it leaves you on a little what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for, Keith?
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger, yeah.
Yep.
So and the full game doesn't come out for like another month, so I'm just ready for it. I'm itching to get into it, but I really enjoy it. If anyone here in the chat, Shadow Links, if you have a Switch, I believe you do.
He does.
Kevin, yes, you guys should definitely. If you have any love in your heart for JRPGs, I highly recommend checking the demo out.
Kevin, does Kevin have a Switch?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That was a me and you thing, knowing he does. Just because I know that you spend a lot of time with him on your Switches. That was not a good joke.
I didn't know if you were having a massive brain fart or what.
Yeah, it's gassy. It's got brain gas in here. It's getting late. But I think Shadow Links, based on what you're saying, is absolutely correct. The game is enormous, and apparently the artist was the same guy who designed the characters in Chrono Trigger, which is touted as one of the most popular JRPGs?
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
But yeah, character design's great. The world design is really great too. I like the world building that's been established so far and stuff like that. And the accents and stuff. Everyone's they're kind of like a mix of like some people sound kind of Irish, some people sound kind of Australian. There's a weird little dialect that a lot of the characters use that's very charming and endearing. So, yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm so glad.
Yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing the past week, and then obviously the usual suspects, Splatoon 2, here and there.
Right. The usual suspects.
The enemy design is fun too. Yeah, Shadow Links. The enemy design is really fun. All the enemy types are just very goofy and whatnot, very cartoony.
Sure.
The eccentric guy is interesting. Not sure what you're talking about there, Shadow Links.
This guy? There's this guy I thought was pretty controversial. Maybe I think he is an openly gay character. Maybe he was controversial. Am I wrong? Maybe you've not met him.
In Dragon Quest?
I feel like I heard that. I feel like I heard that there was a guy that was either openly gay or something that was controversial, not necessarily to us, but controversial to people.
I don't know. Is Eccentric, is that his name? Eccentric guy?
I don't know. Yeah, Shadowlands confirms this guy right here.
Oh, yeah, I don't think, he wasn't in the demo, I don't believe.
Then maybe you just haven't gotten to him yet.
Huh. Okay. But yeah. Keith, what have you been playing?
Before we leave
Shadowlands
this...
says it's ambiguous.
Question for... Okay, it's ambiguous. Cool. Question for you, Will. Is that hero as powerful in Dragon Quest as he is in Smash Bros?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
Only got a few of those moves.
Okay.
No kamikaze yet, nothing like that.
I feel bummed out that I can't make myself enjoy turn-based combat, Will. I feel like I'm a person... I feel like I've been pretty negative this stream, which I feel bad for. But I can't make myself enjoy it. I can't get into turn-based combat, and maybe I haven't found the right one. Maybe I haven't tried enough things. But I can't do it, and it keeps me away from games like this.
Keith, what about Dungeons and Dragons?
Dungeons and Dragons combat is the least fun part about it to me.
Okay.
The most fun part about it is I get to pretend to be an orc and I get to decide what he says and I can decide that in real time and make his decisions, and he actually lives like makes real people decisions and not ones that is made for him and stuff like that, and he wasn't programmed, he's me. That kind of thing. I like the RP of Dungeons and Dragons a whole lot. I really honestly could do without... If you told me for combat, like, roll this dice 6 times, and based on the rolls, I'll tell you whether you win or lose, and I'll describe how you did it, I'd rather do that.
Okay, fair enough. I really thought I got you with that one.
No.
But yeah, to answer your question, there is something wrong with you, and it's 100% your fault that you can't enjoy Dragon Quest and the like.
Will, did you go to therapy school for that? Because that's some good stuff.
Therapy school?
Yeah, therapy school, man. Thanks, Shadowlinks, for the accent comment, or the compliment. I try. That's how my orcs sound in D&D. Shadowlinks, you might enjoy it. The RP is a lot of fun. If you've never played D&D and would like to be introduced, we have a 48-plus episode Dungeons & Dragons series available on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud called Dungeon Boys. Actually, me and my brother Bryce just released today on the podcast versions of those, not on YouTube yet, but released on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify, a recap of our whole first season of Dungeon Boys, which is really cool. I really enjoyed doing that with him. About 2.5 hours, recap from the beginning to end, everything. Shadowlinks, I've played Pokemon before. That's turn-based. I enjoyed Pokemon, but I didn't enjoy the combat so much. I mean, I guess if you didn't... I enjoy the fact that I get to have a Pokemon that's mine.
Yeah.
But again, I don't mean to be negative. Will, I'm so glad that you found this game and that you're enjoying it.
Yeah, me too. I just wish you could enjoy it as well, Keith. Shadowlands does not seem to think that Pokemon counts. I think it counts. It definitely counts.
It's not a JRPG, though. I mean, it's not like the... Sorry, excuse me. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's not... Maybe it is quintessential, but when I think JRPG, I think more something like this. Like Dragon Quest or Chrono Trigger or... you build your party and stuff. Not necessarily you build your Pokemon party, which is very similar, almost the same, but I do not know.
Yeah, when you think JRPG, you normally think very story-driven, and that's not a thing that you think of with Pokemon.
That's correct.
Having a very strong story focus.
That is correct.
Keith, you want to take us home?
Yeah, let's take us home, dude. Let's talk about Dead Cells. I've been playing a little bit of Dead Cells, only whenever I've not been playing God of War for Shadowlinks' enjoyment. I've been playing a little game. Sorry, I have to keep pulling my headphones off to make sure I'm not bothering anybody in the house or I'm not missing any barks or anything like that. But Dead Cells is a roguelike Metroidvania game Excuse me. What all is it? I know it's roguelite, meaning that when you die, you start over. There's no saving your progress. And it's Metroidvania because you can gain powers that allow you access further into the game. Right? Those are the two definitions. Okay, so it's both of those things. What else?
Oh, I was just going to say, and Metroidvania is to me what turn-based combat is to you.
Right, yeah, that's true. So you can rag on this a little bit if you want. It's fun. It's one of the few not Metroidvania. I've played several of those that I have enjoyed. It's one of the few roguelites that I enjoy. Something about not having any progress and the game is difficult. The game is not an easy game. It's meant to be extremely difficult. So whenever I die, usually that's extremely discouraging when I have to start over from the very beginning. Not a lot of fun. But this game makes it not so bad because when you start over, the world gets randomized in front of you and the weapons in front of you get randomized a little bit. So you might pick up different weapons along the way, but also you do carry over some progression throughout the game. So if you gain the power to, there's these little areas where you can hit the right bumper and it allows a vine to grow up for you to climb up. Once you get the vine growing once you get the vine growing power, you gain that forever. There's other powers like that throughout the game. I've only gotten I think the vine thing is the only one I've gotten, actually. There's a couple more permanent things that I have gotten, but powers, that's the only one. Because I'm not very good at this game yet. But also, throughout the game, there are... every time you get through an area, you meet up with this guy who takes your cells, which is the equivalent of, souls in Dark Souls or blood echoes in Bloodborne. It's cells that you pick up from enemies, and you can put those towards being able to purchase future items. So once you put 25 cells into this new sword, the guy will drop it for you. But then I think in the future that sword will become available at pickup spots, in random intervals. That sword may now be available to pick up. And so if my first playthrough I only get 3 cells and I put them towards, sword A, in my next playthrough, and that sword costs 25 cells, in my next playthrough when I come back, that sword is only going to cost 22. So it does keep that progress. The progress of you unlocking these things is maintained. And so it gives you that incentive to go back in. It's not like it takes away all your unlocks and everything. Also, the farther along you go, much like Dark Souls, you have a health flask. So the first thing you're allowed to unlock is the first level of your health flask. So now you can heal yourself. That carries over. So the next time when you die the first time, when you come back, you still have that ability to heal. You can upgrade that to give yourself 2 heals from that. That carries over forever. Then you can upgrade for 3, and that carries over forever. So those kind of things are getting to those goals. It's all right. Well, right now I can make it through the first 2 levels, but I've got to buy that health thing to push me to the 3rd. Eventually, you're able to do that. Then you can push through the 3rd and through the 4th, through the 5th. I assume. I've not made it that far, but it's I think it's doing roguelite correctly, and it's doing Metroidvania as good as you can. I think within the confines of the roguelite thing.
Nice. How long does a playthrough last?
Depends on how quickly you die. My first one probably lasted 5 minutes.
Okay. Have you beaten? Have you had a successful run yet?
No, I have not beaten it. I'm not sure even what's at the end. I've only beaten one boss. So essentially there are 3. So you go through the first area, then you can either, depending on where you end up, you either go to one area or another. Then you pass through that area, you go through one more, then you're at the first boss. And then you go through the next 2 areas. But I've never made it through the second area. I've never made it through the 5th one, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I've done 1, 2, 3 boss, and then 1, and I've always died in 2 if I make it that far again. So I guess that's 4 and 5. Whew, not very good at it. Don't have a lot of practice. Don't have a ton of hours in this one, but it's a lot of fun. The dodging is fun. The combat, it looks good whenever you hit stuff. It breaks well, and your weapons are fun to use. There's a lot of different weapons. There's a lot of different things to make you feel pretty powerful. There's traps that you can use. There's things that if you gather them up right and you combine them correctly, you can lock a boss without for him to not be able to move, and then freeze him and hurt him and stuff. So it's a cool game. I recommend it. It's on the store right now with a DLC for like $25. You got some points saved up.
It's on everything, isn't it?
It's everywhere. Okay. Yeah, the first time I bought it was for PC when it was in early access.
Okay.
But then when it officially came out was when they had that big debacle that you reminded me of earlier.
Yeah. This game will just forever be the IGN plagiarism game to me, for better or worse.
That's reasonable. Absolutely reasonable. So I guess now we need to ask Kevin and Shadowlinks what they've been playing. I know what Shadowlinks has been playing.
In Shadowlinks, you are kind of correct about Zelda being kind of like a Metroidvania. It's really just the 2D, the like side-scrolling thing that I can't wrap my mind around. When I see a side-scrolling game, my brain tells me go right to left, and that's all you need to do, or go left to right, and that's all you need to do, and then I just can't.
The Zelda formula is just flat Metroidvania, really. Or if it's 3D, it's 3D Metroidvania.
Mm-hmm.
In certain ways.
Yeah.
Not to boil it down too much. Whew, man, this has been fun so far. Will, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little sleepy, Keith. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sleepy too. I'm considering squeezing in a God of War stream right after this, so I don't have to wake up early in the morning. I need you guys to let me know how you feel about that as well.
I'm probably gonna be hitting the hay.
That's perfectly reasonable. Perfectly reasonable.
Kevin, Shadowlinks, what y'all been playing?
Tell me now.
Tell me. I bet Kevin's been playing Mario Maker. I bet.
You bet? You're gonna bet? What you gonna put on that bet, Will?
Yeah.
Want to put a little money down? Want to put about $200 under your pillow down?
I've got 17 cents right here.
17 cents. You got it. I'll take that bet. Kevin has not played a lick of Metroidvania of Mario Maker 2 in the last 3 days for 17 cents.
I could just open up my Switch real fast and see if...
Crap, I've only got 12. I've only got 12 cents.
We'll maybe try out Metroid Prime so you can experience the 3D Metroidvania. Yeah, I actually started it on Kevin's Wii U. He let me borrow it to play some virtual console games because I lost my Wii U. And he had Metroid Prime on there, and I started playing it, and then I just started playing Galaxy 2, and I never went back to it. But if they ever do the trilogy and like release it on Switch or something, I'm definitely going to get it. Kevin says I'm right.
Here you go, Will. I don't know if you can see this, but I've got 12.
Okay, you're going to need to give me 5 more.
Okay. Gotcha. I'll
just do that next time I see you.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good. Sorry about that, folks. I failed us. Absolutely failed us. Shadowlink says, obviously God of War, but recently just finished Arkham Asylum, and now I'm playing Arkham City. I will start Assassin's Creed Odyssey after I'm done with Arkham Knight. Very cool. Oh.
Arkham City's a
Did you hear what can of worms Shadowlinks just popped open on this stream?
Oh, no. He did.
You just said the words Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Shadowlinks. We're not going to talk about it tonight.
We can save that for the next game talk.
We can save it for the next game talk.
That can be your rant for next week.
Yeah, next week's rant is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, dude. Oh, man, I got a lot to say about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I got a lot to say for a lot of games that I haven't played. That's my MO. my modus operandi is talk about stuff that I don't know anything about. What's that? It's an Avett Brothers song. It's like, we all love to talk on things we don't know about or something. That's classic.
Shadowlinks wants a little...
I'll give you a little tease, Shadowlinks. I don't want this to hurt anybody's feelings. Maybe you love Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't know, but I don't like the look of it. It's not an Assassin's Creed game to me. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is. I think the title should be something else. It should be mythical adventure game. It should be RPG with numbers that pop off your enemies that don't die after you stab them one time game, you know? It's just not an Assassin's Creed game to me. I'm sure it's amazing. I've heard so many good things about it. I'm sure it's an amazing video game, but I don't think it's an Assassin's Creed game, and that's going to be the tease.
But have you played Jesus? I love it.
No, I haven't played it, and that's my problem. I've seen it played a few times on some streams and stuff, which was enough for me. I don't think
hold your feet to the fire, dude. I love it.
like I say, I don't think it's a bad game. I'm certain it's a good game. I'm certain it's a game I'd probably enjoy playing. But it does not.
You just don't think it's a good Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, it does not give me the feelings I associate with Assassin's Creed. Also, if you're watching this on the YouTubes later on, you need to tune into the streams. Shadowlink Don't do me like that. I opened the cover, man. I let somebody read it to me for a little while. I opened up the cover on Twitch and let somebody start reading a little bit to me. That was my thing. That was what I tried to do with it. I tried to say, maybe I have this wrong. Maybe my opinion is unfounded. But I watched a couple videos and it was enough for me to think, like, I'm not a fan of this being Assassin's Creed game, an Assassin's Creed game. Oh yeah, I know you're kidding, bud. I appreciate you being here to kid around with.
You got the summary from the back of the book.
Yeah, that's right. I did. That's what I got. That's what's wrong with me. I got the gist of it. Well, folks, I think that's going to end Game Talks Live for this week. What a blast.
Late night.
Just a cool little hour and a half. Thanks for joining us, folks. Yeah. Kevin. Shadowlinks, my boys. Our boys. Our friendos. We appreciate you big time. If you guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, wherever you're at, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe or whatever. Maybe this portion's not even on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. I didn't do it last time. But we'll see what we do next time. This show happens every week on Tuesday around 10 or 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to try to standardize that to 10 o'clock, but we cannot guarantee it every Tuesday. I believe Will agree with me there.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's going to be it for Game Talks. Again, we appreciate everybody. Will's shouting everybody out. Shadowlinks, would you prefer me to play some God of War now? Would you be into that? If that's the case, I'll just go ahead and do probably a short stream tonight. I might be able to squeeze an hour out of God of War, maybe. Or I might fall asleep in my chair and you get to see that, and then I'll show up on live stream fails on Reddit, which should actually be pretty cool. But anyway, Shadowlinks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this stream. I'll get set up to stream God of War, and I will be back on in just a minute. Will, you are a close, wonderful friend of mine. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Keith.
It's your show too. I'm not trying to treat you like a guest. It's
I've always wanted to say that. Thank you for having me.
Okay, it's just as much your show as it is mine. I just have the computer tonight. All
right, you madmen, y'all have fun playing God of War.
Yep, I will be back shortly. Shadowlinks, grab all your friends, and I'll see you in the stream in a moment. Everybody, again, thanks for watching. Please remember that Will and I both are hopelessly and just absolutely bound up in love for you. We love you very much.